Oh. Hi, I'm miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom, and I want to turn this declining Prostrata Juniper into a nice Cascade Bonsai. The tree was planted in a standard bonsai pot in this upright size. I got this tree about 25 years ago, maybe even, 25 years ago, in a actually 36-inch box. A juniper with a big base and quite tall. And I cut off the top and made it into this bonsai. And the bonsai was basically, this is the apex, and I have a branch on this, and then a branch on this side, sort of form the triangle, and maybe it's even more like hover like this, so it's upright. I didn't use the right soil mix. I followed the old tradition and really didn't water it enough, keeping it dry. And it gradually declined, and I finally decided to salvage it by completely redoing it. When this side all died, the top died, everything died on that side. And as I played with it, it became apparent that this could be a fantastic Cascade Bonsai. So when there's life, there's hope, and I try to reactivate it. So let's see what we can do with this tree. So the tree was really in set shape about 6-8 months ago. And you can see now, after I repotted it using my soil mix, significant amount of new growth have grown up, shooting out everywhere. So now I have some material to work with. And one clarification, as you can see, I really didn't spend much time cleaning up these dead branches and so forth, or for that matter, the dead bark. You know, first thing first, instead of working on the detail and lose sidetrack of the big issue. So I'd rather work on the tree first, and when it's nice and ready for display, then I work on the detail. And you have plenty of time to take care of the detail, and by then you will know exactly what you have to do to make it look presentable. But in the meantime, I'm focusing on the real issue, which is styling of the tree. Let us rotate this tree to study which side we want to be the front. I think we want to see the tree a little bit on the side, but this one I think will hide the trunk, and whereas this side, it shows a lot more of the tree, kind of dramatic. This can all be cleaned up later, which I worry about it later. So the main thing we have to do is to worry about this branch and then this branch to do the design. I can imagine this being the front. This is actually a really interesting angle. You can see this part is going like this. So you have a thing that, a line that goes like this. So it's almost like you want to kind of like make it this angle as the front. Or, yeah, I think this is too much. I think we have to make this as the angle and see as much as we can as possible, but not going to worry about it. And these branches are quite stiff, so we got to figure out how to do this. So we're going to have this as the front, and then want to see a little bit of this curve. So this one has to go, because that's blocking this view, and whereas this can grow up to, in a year or so, to provide the forefront. So with that in mind, I will cut it. It seems like a shame. This big branch has to go, but I want to accentuate this curve. So that is in fact the beauty of the cut and grow method, because you're subtractive and then you think about how you can add it. So you're much more, have much more design options rather than confined to how do I modify the existing branches, which you tend to do when you have, when you do wiring. We do things out of natural inclination, and so you need to kind of control that. So I can play with this later. So this will be this angle, and this will probably somehow go this way and this way to provide some. And then you have this nice angle. I probably do this. You can see not much is left, but they will grow back. You can see I'm trying to accentuate this line that comes up like this. And all natural, I never use wiring, but that's how the tree grows naturally. So again, you lament the tree is looking very, very sparse. But my argument is that don't worry about it. Tell me that I cut off too much 3 months or 6 months from now. I will have plenty of branches to work with to fill it up, and the tree will look really dramatically nice. You can see this is the angle when I present it. You're looking at this angle. You can see how interesting that is. And again, it will fill up. It will come out like this, like this. And actually, this branch can come out as far as this. So it'll be quite nice. Now this part is going to be a tough one. So right now, the tree, we said this is going to be the front. So you can see this interesting curve. So this is more or less the front. Well, we may have to clean up this later. And then this branch is sticking up. I'd rather have it going down. So how do I bend this thick branch back? And what I would do is I would try to break this joint where the two meet. Okay, now I have so long as I don't break the bark, I can start to twist it. It's not like I have experience doing that, but I can surely give it a try. Oh. I hope there's still some attachment. So let me just leave it at that. I nearly broke it. It's quite possibly this branch is not going to work. So what I will do is I will remove as much of the green as possible to conserve the moisture. I'm trying to keep the bark on the trunk, on the wood, and prevent it from further tearing by wrapping a nylon string around it, and so that not too tightly, but tight enough to hold it, and then remove it in a month or two, so that the bark will grow back into the broken trunk, so that it doesn't fall off, and then continue to perform its function. So I tied this to save this branch. If it works great, I will later on take some plastic electrical tape and tape it around to preserve moisture loss. And hopefully this will survive. If not, then I really have to count on this branch to come out to provide the greens on the side. So this is at the right place going this way, so I want to save this one. This one is going this way, it's too high, but there's a branch here. So if I cut off here, this may branch out. So I can have something like an apex here and then going down like this. But I surely do not need this one. So again, for the energy that come up on this branch, to focus more onto this branch, I will cut off the ones that are not needed. So I will cut off this one. And I save a little bit just in case of green. So just in case this will grow out. And then I think it would be nice to have a branch coming out this way. So I save this one. Like I said, someday this will be coming up here. And then this coming out, this coming out. So this would be a nice little apex. But on the other hand, if this one dies off, then I will try to use this one to cover this angle. I will clean off these a little bit more and then leave it alone for a couple of months to see what happens and then work on it again. So don't be too surprised. It does look sparse, but it will recover. Look at this angle. You get to see this curve and this branch going back. This could be a flop, but this I can salvage with this branch later if that one did not survive. So this is my cascade from a dying juniper, and I salvaged it. In short, I rejuvenated, redesigned this tree from a dying, upright, semi-upright tree into this cascade form by studying it to find the right angle. And it could be a very dramatic tree. And by the time when I'm done with it, not much is left. But you let it grow out, you can see how nice it is at all angles. And when it grows out and fill out, you have a chance to compensate the area that you need to fill out, and it will look quite nice. And so in summary, a couple of things I did. One is to show you until what is this life, there's hope. You can always do something dramatic to change it and to get it restarted again. And the second one is that when you break something, you try to fix it. You don't necessarily have to give up and say, oh, you know, too bad that I broke it. And the third thing is that be patient and make continuous improvement. You may eventually get it somewhere. But I hope you like my video and find it informative. Do provide me feedback so that I know what you're interested in. In fact, I love to learn from you. You may have some suggestions that I can do better. And please click like and also subscribe to our video channel so that we can notify you of future new videos. There's plenty to talk about to share knowledge about bonsai making. So thank you very much.